Hello, my sweet friends. This is Tracy. I am sharing a Valentine heart burlap rose wreath with you today, showing you step by step how I did it using these fun, delicious pink flowers and burlap. There's a pop of color with the black and white checkered ribbon. I used some wood beads for the handle. I will share how I put all of this together. If you are returning, thank you. If you are new, please consider subscribing to my channel. I love to share crafty ideas with a bit of rustic country charm, just like this one. So let's go ahead and get started, and I will share the supplies that I did and show you how I did it. Okay, the supplies I'm using is one heart wire form from the Dollar Tree, as well as some pink styrofoam hearts, 2 bunches of the pink roses, some excelsior, some black and white checkered ribbon, some burlap, some wire, some wooden beads, some berries, some cherry blossoms, and some styrofoam, as well as my scissors and hot glue. Okay, I'm starting with 2 rolls of this burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I just cut off the end, and then I'm just starting somewhere. I just start there at the bottom, and I'm just gonna hot glue the burlap onto itself, and then I will wrap it around the heart kind of at an angle so that one roll fits halfway, and then I will start the other roll. Those pink fingertips come in handy when I'm working with hot glue like this. You can get them off of Amazon. You can get them in the craft store. Some friends have even shared that they have found them at the Dollar Tree. I personally have never seen them at the Dollar Tree, but it's somewhere that you can look. If you would like to get a little bit more detail, I will have a link in the description box below so that you can kind of see what they look like in the store. I'll just continue to wrap around, and as it gets to that top part of the humps of the heart, I found that I needed to put a little dab of hot glue on the burlap so that it would secure it in place. Now I'm going to use some styrofoam and secure that, actually hot glue it on the bottom of my little heart. And I have one of the blocks from the Dollar Tree. You can get the styrofoam in the solid block, or you can get them, they come in 4 blocks. And I'm just taking a serrated knife that I have here in my craft room that I just keep for projects like this. And I'm just figuring out where I want the styrofoam to go, and then I'm just going to hot glue it onto the burlap, and it all just stays very nice and snug. I have some excelsior, and this is kind of like moss. Instead of using Spanish moss, I like to use this excelsior. I like this fine excelsior. It kind of helps me cover up the styrofoam. I like to use it in different arrangements and just different projects. I have found I can get the thin excelsior from Joann's, and I'm able to use a 40% off coupon whenever they have it. Also, Amazon has it. I will link to it below if you wanted to get a few more details of what it exactly looks like. I like the wispiness and the whimsical look of this excelsior. The only thing that I don't like is it is extremely messy. So I just have my little tack cloth and I just, just wipe off my table. It's okay if the excelsior doesn't cover 100% because the embellishments, the flowers, the different berries and everything is going to cover it a little bit more. Okay, now I have the 2 bushes of pink roses from the Dollar Tree, and there is 6 roses on each of these bunches. So I'm using 12 roses total, and it just frustrates me if I get a bunch and don't realize that one of the flowers has fallen off. Anyway, but to my delight, these roses are good to go. So I'm just cutting off about 1 inch of the stem, and then I'm going to tell you how I kind of do it, kind of my thought process. I start layering them. What I'm doing is I stick or I push the leaves all the way to the top, and then I guess cutting off about 1 inch or a little more than 1 inch, and then I start on one side, then I stick in the other side, and then I will go to the middle, and then I will just kind of go in a pattern like that so that my flowers look even. Next is this a bunch of cherry blossoms in the white, and I got these at the Dollar Tree. I just snip these cherry blossoms off and I just stick them into my little arrangement. These berries I picked up from Walmart. They were 97 cents. I know that the Dollar Tree does have similar berries like that, if you are fortunate enough to find them. Anyway, so I decided I don't want to use the leaves on these berries. I'm just snipping off the berries, you know, just a bit of the stem so that I can hot glue it and stick it into the styrofoam. These pink hearts are from the Dollar Tree. They're little glittery styrofoam. So if you cringe at glitter, I would maybe leave these off. Anyway, there are 7 in this package. And so I am just going to cut off a bit of the stem. I think I leave a little bit more than an inch. So that I could stick them, like poke them into the styrofoam and hot glue them in place so that they stay. I wanted my hearts to be nestled in my little arrangement, but if you like them to stick out a little bit more above the little flowers, then I would leave the stick a little bit longer so that when you glue it and poke it into the styrofoam, they stick up a little bit more. Now I'm going to make a hanger for my little wreath here, and I have this silver wire, and I'm using about probably 30 inches because I don't want it to be too short and I run out of wire. And my beads are from Amazon. I will have a link in the description below if you would like to see exactly the beads. I'm using the 16 millimeter. And what I'm doing here is I just, on the one end of the wire, I just kind of curled it so that I could, and just kind of twisted it so that my beads would stay. And then I'm putting 4 beads on there, and then I'm going to take a dowel and just kind of twist it around, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 times, and just kind of give it a little curl. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I just kind of twist it, just kind of curling it, and then I will thread my little beads on there, and then that is what I will do to attach it to my little heart wreath. I left some end of the wire so that I could poke it through the burlap, and I'm just going to eyeball it. You can use a ruler or a tape measure if you want it a little bit more precise, but that's kind of how I roll. I just kind of eyeball it, and if it's off, then I just take it apart and redo it. I don't stress about it, and I hope that you don't either, but I can understand and appreciate people that are OCD. Anyway, but I use my needle nose pliers to kind of help me out with twisting this wire. I just kind of turn it over on itself so that it will not poke me, or if I decide to give this to someone else as a gift, that it won't poke someone when they're trying to hang it. Now I'm going to make 2 little bows to kind of attach to the ribbon, kind of where the wire and the burlap meet, and it gives it a little bit of color as well as mask that. And to make my bows, I just make 2 little loops, and then I use my tiny attacher, a little stapler. I put a staple in the middle, and that just kind of helps it. I just hold it together like that because I don't want to hold it with my fingers. You know, this is just a personal preference, the way that I do my little bows like this. And then I just use a chenille stem and just kind of twisting my bows and making sure that my ribbon tails are facing the way that I want them. And I just twist the little chenille stem and just cut off any of the excess on that little, on the wire, on the little ribbon there. And then I just cut the bow tails at an angle. I'll go back later and singe the edges because this ribbon is a little grosgrain ribbon and it will fray just a little bit over time. Anyway, so just doing the same thing, I just make 2 loops. I attach it in the middle with a little stapler. Then I take my little chenille stem and just gather it in the middle. You could do that without stapling it. I just find it a little bit easier for me to hold together in my hand. And then now I'm just going to attach it to the little wire. Okay, and my little burlap heart roses wreath is finished, and I love the way that it turned out. If you would create it, please share it with me over in the Country Charm community. It is my free Facebook community that I have that you can share recreations of things that I've inspired you to do, as well as your own creations, or if you were inspired by someone else. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support. We will talk to you very soon, and God bless.